Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Patrice, Christie. So, Patrice, what is your true life story?
Whew. My true life story is a story that I've never actually told in this kind of setting. I've actually just written it out. So just go on this journey with me for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was 15 at the time, and circumstances had caused me to be removed from my home. I was then placed in the home of another family member at the time. It seemed as if it was a great situation because instead of being placed in the system, also known as a foster care system, I was, still with family. I was still able to live my full life completely. What seemed good was actually bad because now I was placed in the home of my then abuser. I felt as if I was thrown into like a cage. Like I felt like a piece of meat thrown into a cage with a pack of wolves, if you must, right? But what could I say? What could I do? It was nothing that I could say or do at the time. It was all well at first, but a couple months within the situation, the abuse started again. It was devastating, but it felt odd because I'm under this roof with so many people, yet no one noticed this. No one sees, no one acknowledges or can see that something is different with me. At the time, being a stepchild, being what you would call the black sheep, it's as if no one cared. You were always singled out, right? You're not a part of the whole. You're not a part of the family kind of thing. And it continued for a while. And I felt this silence of pain on my face. And I wore it, but no one could see it. No one can hear it but myself. Time passed, and I decided to break my silence. I decided to confide into the son of my abuser. He expressed his disgust. He showed sympathy. He apologized over and over and over again for his father and his actions. And I believed him. A person who wanted anyone, to just believe my story, to just believe what was happening or what I was going through. I was glad I had it. I was happy. I didn't know how to behave, and I just said, generally breaking free. After pouring out my pain into the hand of what I thought or whom I thought was going to handle it with care, my life took another turn. I remember it extremely well. It was an afternoon. It was a sunny afternoon. I was in the room that was temporarily mine at the time, and I felt like the warmth of the sun through the window. It's like on the back of my legs. It was right at the hem of my skirt. So I felt good. I'm getting ready to take a nap. There's nothing else to do, And I had my arms crossed, my head laid on my arms. I had my legs crossed at the same time. I began to fall into a deep sleep, and then something changed. That energy changed in the room. I no longer felt the warmth. It became cold, just this cold room. Too tired to look. I didn't want to turn around and look at the window and say, okay, well, maybe the sun passed or something. I just lay there. And I was still trying to force myself back to sleep. But then the most devastating thing happened. The shoulder that I cried on was now laying on me. I was too shocked to move. I was too scared to say anything. Maybe I was dreaming. I closed my eyes. I tried to say, okay, this is not real. This is not real. I'm sleeping. But it was very much real. It was very much real. Who do I turn to at this point? Who do I talk to in this moment? What do I say? I don't think most people understand, unless you've been in the situation, how long 2 minutes is. You don't know. 2 minutes felt like a lifetime. A lifetime. I continued to lay there scared and quiet. And I'm sorry, I'm crying because it's my story. And the feelings are still there, right? I continued to lay there pretending that I was asleep. That would somehow deter him to stop. To realize that what he was doing wasn't right. It wasn't right. At the time, I was blessed, if you must. I had a shape, thick thighs, big butt, I did. And so the position that I was in caused it to not actually be intercourse, but rather him thinking that it was, because there was never, ever any insertion. He was actually humping my thighs, my inner thighs. But it's the situation of everything. It's the idea that he thought that this was okay. It's not okay. It was not okay. An unplanned, unconsensual sexual encounter turned out to be attempted rape. That's really what it is. It's attempted rape. I did not consent to it. As I felt the warm liquid running down my inner thighs, he released himself. He got up. He walked away, said nothing. And I cried silently. I was broken again. Again. Not long after that encounter, I was called to a room by one of the adults. The look on her face was that I was either in trouble or that I was being asked to snitch on someone, you know, that parental look. And she had been discussing something with another adult who at the time was on speakerphone. I stood in front of her. I stared her straight in the eyes, and she asked me, "Did you have sex with this person?" I was shocked. I was confused, lost. I was hurt. What do you say to someone when they say something like that? Of course, I did not have sex with the person, but how do you explain when this other person clearly thought that it was sex? Not only that, but I was already seen as the family liar. No one believed nothing I said. Not because I was a liar, just because I was just an outcast. That's it. I was the outcast. Their minds were already made up, and I didn't know what to do. I took a step back. My back hit this cold wall and my legs started to shake. I wanted to fall. I wanted to bury myself into that wall. I couldn't. I wanted to disappear out of the situation, just out of everything. I was tired. I was tired. I cried while the adults spoke about me as if I wasn't standing right there. Every negative dagger pierced my soul. Every one of them pierced my soul. Words hurt. They're simple, but words hurt. And they have a lasting effect. I became the talk of everyone's mouth. I was nasty. How could I do such a thing? They try to help me, and this is what I turn around and I do. The universe landed on me. Landed on me. I felt like at the time Jesus carrying the cross, right? Like I'm carrying everybody else's problems with my own, and nobody's there to help me. I would have given anything to be put into foster care at that point. Anything. Because I felt I would have been better off in foster care. I would have been better off. The negative thoughts came back. They started to consume me. I succumbed. I gave in. I gave them control. Later that night, I found myself walking in a trance. I left the room and I found myself back in the room. The time that I got back to the room, I realized that I had a knife in my hand. I wanted to end it all. I didn't want to be there. I was ready to go. I was ready to leave this earth. Suicidal thoughts just kept creeping in. Is it over? Is this it? Is this how my life ends? It took everything in me to not do it, to walk away, to block the thoughts in my head. Everything. Fast forward to 2018. For those years, I was silent. Said nothing to no one. Because no one is going to believe the family liar. They're not going to believe the family liar. So I decided to break my silence again. Only this time, I did it to the world. I wrote a blog and I plastered it all over Facebook. It was backlash. The family hated me once again. Everyone was against me once again. I was again standing alone. Standing alone. Why? Because I chose to speak my truth. This is why people don't speak their truth. How do the victims stay victims? You can't survive if every time you open your mouth to speak your truth, you get shut down. They shut you down every single time. I expected the backlash. I knew they were going to be angry, but at this point, I did not care because it was my story to tell. And it was my story to tell how I wanted to tell it. And it was nothing they could do about it. There was a silver lining, however, in the situation. Once my story broke, a few people came forward and said, I'm glad you did it. It helped me. But at the same time, a few people in the family came forward and said the same thing happened with the same person. I broke a generational curse because I broke my silence. I learned a few things in that situation. One, be careful who you confide in. Be careful who you confide in. Not everyone is there to help you. Many people are going to take your pain and turn it around and use it against you. That is what happened in my situation. It's as if I was walking around with the word abuse me on my forehead. Mindset is everything. Whether good or bad, it is powerful. All things that you want to accomplish begins with a thought. You think it, you put action to it, you have it. It all begins with a thought. Mindset is everything. So do everything in your power to keep a positive mindset in alignment with your destiny. Sometimes you have to save yourself. You have to be your own rescuer. Nobody's coming for you. Nobody's coming for you. It's you and God. You got to rescue yourself. Speak your truth. Regardless, somebody is listening. Your story is blessing someone. Your story is saving somebody's life. Don't muzzle yourself simply because someone else is going to say no one cares or you're supposed to be quiet about the situation. No, you're not. It is not okay. It is not okay. We have been silent for so long that it's continuing. This is why it's still happening, because we're so silent. The worst thing that happened in that situation, when I broke my silence again, they protected the abuser. It's as if I meant nothing, as if I was nothing. So what I said didn't matter. That was a slap in the face a couple times over. It's your story. Read it however many times it makes you feel comfortable. Do it over and over and over again because you feel like it. It's yours to do that. I just wanted someone to believe in me at that point. I needed someone to believe in me. I realized that while I was standing alone, it's okay to stand alone. Even if it's you against the world, it's okay. Your life is worth more than that current situation. It is worth more than that current situation. I hear you. I am you. I am listening. I see you. I see beyond your pain. I see beyond your circumstances. I believe you, and I believe in you. Thank you.
Uh, well, I want to say first of all, Patrice, thank you so much for trusting me and trusting this platform to share
Yes.
this story. And there's like probably like 300 to 500 hugs that have been sent your way,
Thank you.
and love from the audience as you were
Awesome.
speaking. Um, uh, it's heartbreaking on so many levels. So, like I said, I want to say thank you for trusting me and trusting this platform to share
Amen.
your story. And secondly, I want to say I'm really sorry for how you feel, for how you felt. I'm really sorry. I want to say sorry to you until it saturates your mind, your body, and your soul.
Yep.
I know that the tears that you are shedding right now are not tears of pain, the pain of victimization,
Yeah.
because you're no longer a victim.
Yeah.
Amen. Yep.
You couldn't speak if you were still a victim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want people to realize that pain is pain, and we never get used to pain. I'm always saying that.
Yeah.
Pain is always painful. If you slapped me yesterday, you slap me today, it's not gonna feel different today. It's still gonna be painful. But the difference is that we can turn our pain into our power.
Absolutely.
We can reach out for the pain and remember how it felt to take virtue, the healing virtue, to bring healing to somebody, to bring freedom to somebody, to bring deliverance to somebody,
Yes.
to tell someone, to make someone feel, look, I know how it feels. I've been there. And if no one believes you, I believe you.
Yep.
So that the tears that you're shedding today are not tears of, victimization. Is the tears of, you gotta, it's still you. You're still in that place, but
And
you are tapping into that pain to bring healing, to share a life lesson with somebody today.
yes.
And for that, I celebrate you.
Yes.
Amen.
I honor your courage, and I celebrate you. And I want to say that I can relate with everything that you have said. Like the thing here, for the benefit of those who don't understand what abuse is, because there's so many things that people refer to as abuse, but I know that everyone watching kind of gets the picture. Is that you were in a situation where you could have been put in a foster home, but you were placed with family, and you were happy that, oh, thank God that I am still within the family instead of going to a total stranger's place, right, to live. And now this abuse was within the family, and this happens so very often.
Yes, it does.
Too much.
Yes, it does.
And how dare you say that your uncle abused you? How dare you say that your cousin abused you? How dare you? And especially because you are the one that's needy in the moment. You are
Exactly.
the one who is in trouble. You are the
Exactly.
one who needs a place to stay. So you are the one who something is definitely wrong with.
Yes.
And if you don't have the wisdom in the moment, a lot of people cannot even cue into the wisdom because of the shock.
Mhm.
When the person you confided in that apologized to you landed on top of you, you
Yeah.
were in shock mode.
Yeah.
In that moment, it's like you're absent from your body.
Absolutely.
So imagine that for a young lady your brain, your mind is messed up. Some people don't come back from it. Some people go into
Yes.
all kinds of addiction because they want to numb the pain.
Hmm.
They want that replay to disappear. And some people get hooked onto so many things until they're destroyed. I want to give you a hug.
My
I
sentiments
want to give you
exactly.
a hug. I want to squeeze you so, like and I thank God that you've got God in your life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I thank God for that. That you're changing lives, even in your life
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And you did say that you wrote a blog about this and the backlash came. And this is the first time you are actually speaking the story.
Yes.
So I celebrate that freedom as well. Before I conclude my thoughts, I want to have my other storytellers in the room just say something. But the first things that I need to say are the things that I've said. That I thank you for um, trusting me and trusting this platform, and I apologize and I say sorry for every feeling that you felt that nobody understood. I am so sorry for that. And I think that everyone who is listening to us is echoing that same sentiment. Every woman understands what abuse is. Every woman has tasted it indirectly or directly.
Mhm.
Sometimes you're even like, am I crazy? Is this my imagination? Did it really even happen? You understand? So many things. But I will give my concluding thoughts when um our fellow storytellers have, chimed in on it because I know they have a lot of love they want to share with you right now.